Welcome back to the National Hurricane Center. This is Ken Graham. 11:30 Eastern Time update, 10:30 Central Time update on Tropical Storm Ida. Latest information we have here, 65 miles per hour. We got the hurricane hunters out here, as you can see on satellite. You see these blue lines there, the wind barbs. We got the hurricane hunters in there helping us find where the center is and helping us find the structure of the storm, how large that storm is. So definitely getting stronger and getting more expansive with time, as we've been talking about. Movement northwest at 15 miles an hour. So there it is right there. Really kind of looking at it, doesn't exactly look like your traditional type of storm, but our forecast still remains to continue to get stronger. In fact, we forecast this to get significantly stronger with time, because these temperatures are just, you look at the reds, you look at the oranges, our track goes right up areas where you see some of those oranges and the reds, and look right before landfall, just a significant amount of warm water. So that's water temperature on the Gulf of Mexico. So the entire track is really looking at significant warm water to be able to continue to intensify. I did want to show you this. I'm going to go ahead and loop it as well, because I think it's important that, it doesn't really look like a whole lot right now, but this is the computer modeling when you start looking at a simulated cloud pattern, what it's going to look like with time. So that looks similar to what we have now. Warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico taking on that more traditional look with the eye and the hurricane there. So that's really what we're looking at as a forecast. It helps to really illustrate what it looks like when we get close to landfall, and that's it right there. It's a simulated computer model on what we're looking at, pretty close to that. You can see the rain bands well outside that storm, and remember, we always talk about the impacts well outside the storm. Mississippi coast, you see some of those rain bands, even Alabama getting into the Florida panhandle as well, seeing some of those. And I think it's real interesting. I was looking at this, Dennis, we were talking about it this morning. Look, as far as the Florida Peninsula, could see some of these rain bands set up well away from the storm. So watch out for some of these areas as you can get some of that heavy rainfall. Here's the latest forecast. This was updated at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. Now we got hurricane warnings up for portions of Cuba, and we got the hurricane watch up for portions of Louisiana, almost the entire coast of Louisiana over to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So here we go with time. We're right here at 11 o'clock over Cuba, and then back into the Gulf of Mexico by tomorrow morning, Saturday, and then Saturday evening, the Central Gulf, and then with time becoming that major hurricane. We've been talking about this continuing to strengthen a major hurricane by Sunday morning, approaching the coast throughout the day, Sunday afternoon into the evening hours. So that's what we're looking at here. Now, we have a forward speed with time, and there's a slight slowdown as we start making that turn back off to the north and back to the northeast. So that usually happens, but that compounds some of the issues with pushing some of the storm surge in and some of the rainfall that we'll get. So you have all the impacts that we've talked about along the coast, but remember, even inland, I mean, you're looking at areas that could see the center in this cone 2/3 of the time, anywhere in here. That includes the portions of the Mississippi coast, Hancock County, back through New Orleans, and portions of central Louisiana as well. And all that rain, all that moisture continues to move through portions of Mississippi, Alabama, even to Tennessee with time. I think it's important. We always do talk about wrapping up preparedness. Here's the arrival of the winds. Remember, we talked about tomorrow, Sunday afternoon. We're talking about the evening hours for the landfall, but the winds get in there earlier. The winds are well outside of that with that wind span. So right here, 8 a.m. on Sunday morning, you're starting to already see early Sunday morning, you're going to see some of those tropical storm force winds hit Plaquemines Parish and then move inland with time. And then even to start getting into the Florida parishes in Louisiana, you're starting to see by the evening hours some of those tropical storm force winds. So not just on the coast, but inland, you can see what you got to wrap up. You have today, you have tomorrow, but by Sunday morning, you're going to start seeing these tropical storm force winds. So got to wrap it up. Listen to those local officials and be ready to do what you have to do today, do what you have to do tomorrow, and then be in a safe place when you start getting into Sunday. Storm surge, big storm surge values, 7 to 11 feet from Ocean Springs back over to Morgan City. That's significant. Not every area gets that, but that really is the potential storm surge you can get in some of these areas. Lake Pontchartrain, 4 to 6 feet, where you have the winds push that water through the Wrigley's into the lakes. Lake Maurepas, 3 to 5 feet. So that's a significant amount of water. So like portions of Mandeville, your Laplace, you have to really keep an eye on some of these values. Even Morgan City back through Rockefeller Wildlife Refuge, 4 to 7 feet. That includes Vermilion Bay in this situation. we have to take the time to talk about the rainfall. This is a significant, so it's not just a storm surge. You're going to put a bunch of rain on top of it, and with those high water levels with the surge, some of that's going to have a tough time draining. So we're going to have to watch out for some of these values. Yeah, look, you're seeing it correctly. In red, 10 to 15 inches of rain. Some places, by the time it's said and done, in that core and off to that right-hand side, you can see some areas that could get 20 inches of rain. So that's significant, dangerous. Really listen to those local officials. Even up into Mississippi, some areas to 6 to 10 inches of rain. So that really wraps it up. A lot of impact here. I do want to show you this is the final graphic. The Be Ready By. Again, we said it before, and it's really important. Listen to the local officials. You have today, you have tomorrow, but by Sunday, conditions start to deteriorate. So this has been Ken Graham here at the National Hurricane Center. We're going to keep you updated on Tropical Storm Ida.